காதலாகி கசிந்து கண்ணீர் மல்கி ஓது வார்த்தமை நன்னெறிக்கு உய்ப்பது வேதம் நான்கிலும் மெய்ப்பொருளாவது நாதன் நாமம் நமச்சிவாயவே நாதன் நாமம் நமச்சிவாயவே. Last week we were talking about Arunachala Padigam, and we also saw how this Arunachala Padigam came about because of Bhagavan's thought. Only suddenly some word comes to Bhagavan one day in the year 1916 or 17. Karunayal ennai, Karunayal ennai, Karunayal ennai. And the word possessed him totally, so much so he was not able to do anything at all other than uh, focusing on that single word, Karunayal ennai. Bhagavan was wondering, why, what is happening? Why is this happening? So he tried to ignore it, but he could not ignore it. So he thought, let me compose a small song and finish off the urge. So he wrote the song Karunayal ennai ஆண்டனி எனக்குள் காட்சி தந்தருளிலை என்றால், on the song we saw last week, and the song was over. It was all pure melting in love for Arunachala, for his father Arunachala. There will be lot of from time to time, lot of fights also he picks up with Arunachala. If a child is not going to do it with his father or mother, who else is he going to be doing? So Bhagavan had every liberty to question Arunachala as to why he did certain things in certain way. This he kept in this whole composition. He has been doing quite a bit of time, and we have seen few of the songs. And I'm not going through the song necessarily because we have repeated. We have. I'm just going. I'm going through the meaning because it is there in the video, the last class video. So one can look up and get the whole thing. But I'll just start by singing whatever we have. We have. I think we have finished 6 slokas out of 11. So I'll just start by singing. Just the 6 that we have completed, and then we can move to the 7th sloka. So this is called Arunachala Padigam. கருணையால் என்னை ஆண்டனி எனக்குன் காட்சி தந்தருளிலை என்றால், இருள் நலி உலகில் ஏகியே பதைத்து உடல் விடில் என் கதி என்றாம். அருணனை காணாது அலருமோ கமலம் அருணனு கருணனா மன்னி, அருள் நனி சுரந்தங்கருவியா பெருகும் அருணமாமலையனும் அன்பே. அன்புரு அருணா சல அழல் மெழுகாய் அகத்துணை நினைந்து நைந்துருகும், அன்பிலி எனக்குன் அன்பினை அருளாது ஆண்டனை அழித்திடல் அழகோ. அன்பினில் விளையும் இன்பமே அன்ப அகத்தினில் ஊறும் ஆரமுதே, என் புகலிடம் நின் இஷ்டமென் இஷ்டம் இன்பதற்கென்னுயிர் இறையே. இறை உனை நினையும் எண்ணமே நன்னா எனை உனதருட்கயிற்றால் ஈர்த்து, இறை உயிரின்றி கொன்றிட நின்றாய் என் குறை இயற்றினன் ஏழை. இறை இனி குறையன் குற்றுயிராக்கி எனை வதைத்திடலெதற்கிங்கன், இறைவனாம் அருணாச்சலயனம் முடித்தே ஏகனாவாடி நீடூழி. ஊழியில் வாழும் மக்களில் என் பால் ஊதியம் யாது நீ பெற்றாய், பாழினில் வீழாது ஏழையை காத்துன் பதத்தினில் இருத்தி வைத்தனையே. ஆழியாம் கருணை அண்ணலே என்ன அகமிக நாடி நின்னிடுமால், வாழினி அருணாச்சல உனை வழுத்தி வாழ்த்திட தாழ்த்தும் என் தலையே. தலைவனி என்னை களவினில் கொணன் உன் தாளில் இந்நாள் வரை வைத்தாய், தலைவனின் தன்மை என்ன என்பார்க்கு தலைகுனி சிலையென வைத்தாய். தலைவனான் வலைமான் தனி நிகராதென் தளர்வனு கழிவு நாடிடுவாய். தலைவனாம் அருணாச்சல உளம் ஏதோ தமியனா தனை உணதற்கே. தற்பர நாளும் தாளினில் தங்கி தண்டலர் மண்டுகம் ஆனேன், சிற்பதனல் தேன் உண்மலர் அழியாய் செய்திடில் உய்தி உண்டுந்தன் நற்பத போதில் நான் உயிர் விட்டால் நட்ட தூணாகும் உட்பழியே வெற்புரு அருண விரிகதிர் ஒளியே விண்ணினும் நுண்ணருள் வெளியே. So that is the first 6 songs. In all these songs, Bhagavan will ask Arunachala, you brought me, but you have you did not give me your darshan, your true Atma darshanam, you did not give me. So if you don't give me, what is the use? Why did you bring me all the way from whatever I was doing? I was a little boy in my hometown. I was playing, I was happy, and you pulled me suddenly, and even also not only gave me the always from very young, you gave me the spurana called Arunachala, 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 which was always sprouting forth in my body, and without any attempt on my part. I didn't even know anything at that time. And not only that, you ensure that I, without telling anyone, I ran away from my home and came here at your feet. Now I'm staying at your feet, Arunachala. But what is the gain now? I have come, you have called me, you have given me the spurana, I have come all the way, and I did not even have a second thought. Now what? Why are you silent now? So he put such questions to Arunachala, and we have to be very, very clear about one thing here is Arunachala, Bhagavan is doing all this for the sake of us. Each one of us, each one of the song, every one of us can relate so much at a personal level. Why should Bhagavan do this? He wrote it much later in the year 1917 or something, when the Spurana of Karunayal was featuring. Why did he have to do it? Only for the benefit of us, because he did not, at that time, he was fully established. And such a later date, what is the need for him to fight with Arunachala? He is fighting with Arunachala on our behalf. He is putting all these questions only for our sake, not at all for him. Because right after the death experience which he had in Madurai, everything was done and dusted as far as Bhagavan is concerned. He had no need to do anything because he was fully established in Sahaja Samadhi. There was no kind of a shaky moment ever since after the death experience he had in Madurai. He was fully established in Sahaja Samadhi. So why should he do all this? Why did he do all this? Only for us, only for us. Just see every song. All of us feel like that. Okay, Arunachala, if you take me as an example, I can say that from my part of each one can relate according to how each one is. See, I was doing some work somewhere. I was earning handsomely. I was doing my own work. I was traveling everywhere. I went to the United States. I went to United Kingdom. I went to Australia and all that, doing my projects and other things. Everything was going on fine. Suddenly, slowly, over a period of time, my inclination towards all this was waning. I could see that very clearly. And my inclination towards Om Namah Shivaya, at the time I did not even know Arunachala, that there is something special called Arunachala or Bhagavan Ramana. I know, I've heard of the name called Ramana Maharishi. This is all I know. Nothing more, not even a word more about what he taught or what he was trying to teach, whether he was teaching Advaita or anything. No. At the time, I only knew Adi Shankara, Shankara Bhagavad Padal. I was, because the entire family was associated with Kanchi Mutt in one way or the other. And so for every function, any occasion, we'll go to Kanchi Mutt to see Paramacharya and whoever is the Acharya. And then even if there is a marriage in a family, we go place the invitation first in the Mutt and all that. Sampradaya was so I know a little bit. But Bhagavan, what did I know? Nothing. But what happened? Over a period of time, suddenly the interest in all this work-related thing started dropping, and my interest in Namashivaya, worship of Namashivaya, got increased, and then from somewhere I came to know about Arunachala, the existence of Tiruvannamalai Arunachala, and slowly came to know that there is Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi. So if you are interested in Advaita, one can never go away from the grasp of Ramana Maharishi. So I started digging some material here and there, and I was able to slowly. The moment I started reading, that's all. I think I'm consumed. It is like how the Bhagavan had put it. It is like whatever food that is caught in the jaws of a tiger, there is no escape. Similarly, there was no escape. But all this happened. Every one of us undergo all such things. Who knows why it's happening? But we have come. Okay, and now still we are struggling. Why? Arunachala is Bhagavan is asking Arunachala. The moment I came here, you should have finished me thoroughly. You should have destroyed me thoroughly. Now, what you are doing, you have inserted a big sword in me. That sword is gone inside my body and it's giving a lot of pain. But my life is still going on. My life is not gone. So I'm suffering with pain on the one side. With also, I have to know that actually I was suffering. I was sort of maintaining the body in some way by means of earning something here and there or doing whatever, and living luxuriously also in one sense. But now you have sort of inserted a big sword in me, and on top of it, allow to maintain the body. Why all this? Kill me, either totally finish me. And finish me means give me the experience of the self. Otherwise, leave me. Why do you want to keep? What is the great satisfaction you derive by doing this? He is beseeching Arunachala on our behalf. Look at this is what is Karunayal Ennai. Karunayal Ennai Andani Enak. By means of grace, you ruled over me, he said, Bhagavan says to Arunachala. And we said to Bhagavan, because of Karunai, you are ruling over us. Now, whatever question you put to Arunachala, we are equally eligible to put the same question to you. We are eligible to say, what I can pick up a fight with you. This is exactly the mood Bhagavan was in. And he always questioned Arunachala on our behalf. And slowly, he was also giving an answer. No, it cannot be necessarily like how you wish. Things will proceed in their own in their own way. And all we have to do is surrender to Arunachala. It's something he has been in every song. The first two lines he'll pick up a fight, and the second two lines he'll give a solace. No, this is fine. Arunachala, your will is my wish. Your will is my will. Whatever you think right is right for me. Absolutely. Who am I to question anything? What do I know? So even if you have kept me in abeyance without giving the self-knowledge as on date, it's for some reason you want to, who knows? What do I know? You are doing it. So such is the mood with which this entire composition of Arunachala Padigam, every song, song 1 to 9, is all about such statements of beseeching to Arunachala for grace, for compassion, for mercy, and all that. And the 11th and the 10th and 11th song, they talk about the magnificence and the majestic appearance of Arunachala and the majestic deeds of Arunachala. So this is how the whole thing is. So we have seen up to 6 songs, and the 7th song, it reads, Veli, Vali, Ti, Neer, Manpala, Uirai, Viriburu, Bhuta Baudhihangal. And it means, Veli means, here he talks about the 5 elements called space, air, fire, water, and earth. And all the material objects that are made due to the combination of all the 5 elements, of 5 fundamental elements. That is in the technical language of Vedanta, they call the concept of Panchikaranam. They mix in certain way, and certain outcomes are the water, space mixes with one portion of space is there, and then 4 different smaller portion of the other 4 elements, they mix together to form something like that. Each and every one, the major component will be one of the element like fire or air or water, whatever it is. And such process is known as, it's very given very detailed in Vedantic lessons. Especially there is a work attributed to Bhagavad Padal called Tattva Bodha. Tattva Bodha gives a very elaborate treatment of this process of Panchikaranam, and tells how the whole thing came about and all that. Whoever has interest in it can read Tattva Bodha. It depends. I initially read just for the sake of knowing, and later on I found I don't need this, and I moved out of the concept of creation because very quickly I moved to Atma Bodham rather than Tattva Bodham. So I dropped it. But it's an excellent classical text. Whoever wants should read Tattva Bodham of Bhagavad Padar. So here in this song he says, these are the five elemental and all the material objects that are formed due to the combination of these five elements, which manifest as many living beings, or not other than you. He says to Arunachala, Arunachala, you are the one who manifests as all these element, all the primordial elements, and you are the one who take the form, manifest as the various living beings or other beings in the whole in the whole universe, and that is all you. Are not other than you. The space of light, the space of consciousness, chitakasa. These are all the space of consciousness. Consciousness is what is becoming all this. This is again a very foundation, a very fundamental characteristics of Vedanta, especially Advaita Vedanta, where it is said everything is nothing but consciousness. So it is only from consciousness all these things issued forth. How did they issue forth? Because of the wondrous power called Maya residing in the consciousness. This is the fundamental reason for all this coming out. It is Maya that is producing all this. And what is Maya? No question, such question exists at all. Maya is anirvachaniya. You cannot explain, no one can explain what Maya is. You have to take Maya as Maya and leave it. When Shastra says it is because of the wondrous power called Maya, everything has come out, just leave it there. And because it is come out of Maya, they are not real creation, they are my creation, they are not in real. They are not physical creation, they are all only projection. So they are all appearances, not creation. Creation in Vedantic science is only projection. You can project anything mentally. Similarly, this is also projected with by the guidance of Maya. So this consciousness again is nothing but Arunachala. Arunachala is consciousness, which is the reason for of which all these elements come out, and all the creation has so-called creation has taken place. So when everything is you, who else am I but you? So here he says, Veli Vali Unnai Andri in Renin Verian Yar Ulan Vimala. Who else am I other than you? Because it's all you. Who else am I but you? Oh, blemishless one. Since you shine without another in the heart as the space of consciousness, we have always seen it is what is there in our heart, what is making us, what is grace? It is only the feeling of I that each one of us feel inside due to the presence of Arunachala is grace. Arunachala's grace is not giving us material objects or giving us any form of anything else. It is only the shining forth of Arunachalam in our hearts in form of I. This is not exactly known as the grace. What is known as grace? This is the definition of grace. Because in absence of just the shining of I, everything becomes void. Everything becomes zero. Nothing we can do. Let us say the feeling of I is not there in any one of us, even for a second, in our waking state or in our dream state. And in deep sleep, it is not there. In these two states, the feeling of I, if it is not there, can anything happen? Because everything is fundamentally based on this feeling called I. Without that, anything cannot happen. Where is the owner? Nothing is possible at all, at any time. So this is called the most important aspect of Shiva worship is grace. One of the important things is grace. We have seen there are 5 aspects that Nataraja keeps doing of creation, sustenance, destruction, healing, and grace. So grace is the one that enables the us the I to function in us. And we are able to, with the help of the I, we are able to do all our worldly activities, also our sadhana, whatever sadhana we have taken up. So here Bhagavan says, oh blemishless one, since you shine without another in the heart as the space of consciousness, who am I who can come out as another? I cannot have anything called Vyakti. I cannot be I can only be a part of the Samashti called Arunachala. I cannot issue forth on my own. It is all you. So who am I to come out as another? That is, who am I who rises as I am so and so? That itself is a fundamental error that we are creating. So he says, "O Arunachala, placing your vast lotus-like feet on my head, on the head of this rising I called ego." So the prayer is for the feet, lotus feet of Bhagavan to be placed on this ego called separate identity. Please put your lotus feet on me, come out, manifest yourself as the real I. You are the real I permanently. So first crush this ego by placing your feet on the ego, on the rising ego. And once you do that, what happens? What is going to remain? It is only you, Arunachala. So manifest yourself and shine within me. Is the prayer Bhagavan is placed in this particular song. The song reads, வெளிவழி தீநீர் மண்பல உயிராய் விரிவுரு பூத பௌதிகங்கள் வெளி ஒளி உன்னை அன்றி என்றென்னின் வேறு யானாருளன் விமலா வெளியதாய் உளத்து வேரற விளங்கின் வேரென வெளிவருவேனார் வெளிவராய் அருணாச்சலவன் தலையில் விரிமலர் பதத்தினை வைத்தே. So the prayer here is for the lotus feet of Arunachala to be placed on the rising ego that we have so that it can get destroyed by the lotus feet of Arunachala and Arunachala can manifest in all its glory within us. This is the prayer. So this is the essence of song number 7. We'll move to the song number 8 now. Now, as we saw, the song number 6 finished with the word called Veliye. Veliye means Veliye can mean two things. One is the outside is called Veli, or it is called the subtle space of the space. Space is called Veli in Tamil. Now, this 7th song finished with a word called Virimalar Padathinai Vaite. That is, Vaital means placing, to place. So here Bhagavan requests, so Velivarai Arunachala, Avan Talayil, come out, Aruna, O Arunachala, come out and place your lotus feet on the head of the ego and destroy it. So Vaite is the ending word of this song. And the next song, obviously, as we have been seeing, because this is a form of the song starting with the last word of the previous song, the subsequent song will start. It's called Andadi in Tamil. And so Vaitanai, Vaite, Vaitanai. Next he starts. Vaitanai Vala Vayagatuyum Vari Ari Madi Arithu Ingan. This is a very a song that without exception, every one of us will relate now. You're going to see. Everyone, there's no exception at all. Everyone will be totally relating to this song. Whoever is come in the ambit of Arunachala, Bhagavan Ramana. So he says, Vaitanai Vala Vayagatuyum. Vaitanai means you have weighed me. Vala means worthless. Vayagam means worth. So Viyum means of making a living. So you have placed me in the world, in the worthless world. He is very clearly qualifying. Vala Vayagatuyum. Okay, now you have placed me in the world, such a world. Vari Ari Madi Arithi Ingan. So, in order for me to live in this world, what is important? I should be knowing, have the what you call the skill or the capacity to live in this world. Now, I used to have one mind that was clever, that used to do all the scheming needed to survive in this world, and I was doing it. Now you have destroyed that ability also. Where did I lose it? I was good. I was good in doing so many business. I was good in so many ways, in so many aspects. But suddenly, slowly, everything is fading off and nothing is succeeding. I'm not able to do anything. So you have placed me in this worthless place called this world, and on top of it, you have destroyed even the small skill that I had, that I possessed in order to survive. So you have destroyed that mind which is capable of doing, the intelligence that is capable of doing. So like this, இங்க வைத்திடில் ஆர்க்கும் இன்பிலை உண்பே. If you place us like this, nobody has any joy. It's all full of, what do you call, sorrow. Inbillai, tunbu, it's all suffering only, because the result of this is not definitely any happiness. It is only because I knew to survive. I was happily surviving in this world, whatever that world is, whether that world is a mind produced, conjured by mind or whatever. But I was nevertheless living. I was doing something. I was going on. But suddenly you have removed even the small skill that I had and put me in your at your feet, and now I don't even know how to survive, how to live. But what is the use of all this? You think I'm enjoying? No, I'm suffering. He makes it very clear that I'm suffering because of all this. Inbilai tumbam means suffering, misery. Varvidil savade manba. Instead of living like this, dying is much, much better. Bhagavan places, beseeches Arunachala, saying that instead of living in this world like this, even without possessing the skill of fundamental skill needed to survive in this world and live in one way or the other, that skill is gone, there is no happiness, there is full of misery. Why should I live like this? Instead of living, dying is much better. வாழ்விதில் சாவதே மாண்பாம். மாண்பு, மாண்பு means better. It's great. It's great than this living like this. பைத்தியம் பற்றி பயனரும் எனக்கு. Being possessed by the fruit of jnana, who am deprived, எனக்கு, upon me, who is deprived upon me, உன் பதம் உறும் அருமருந்தருள்வாய், please. Don't forever keep me like this. The only way I can come out of this predicament that you have placed me in what is the predicament? Not knowing how to live, but at the same time suffering, not enjoying anything, not really having a great time, suffering. So, in order for me to get out of this, I'm like a paithyam, which is like a madness. So, paithyam patri, being possessed of such a madness, in order to gain the fruit of jnana, அருமருந்து அருள்வாய் எனக்கு. For me, who is deprived of this jnana, place your foot upon me, and what is that fruit? It is a rare medicine. Arumarundu. It is a rare medicine. So that is the only way I can attain any kind of salvation. So gloriously place your foot on me. Arumarundu arulvai. Please give me this antidote called Arumarundu. Marundu means medicine. Please give me this medicine. வைத்திய மருந்தாய் பார்ஒளிர் அருண பருபத உருபெரு தரணி. So for this madness, the medicine to live in this earth, the medicine of Aruna hill, of the form who have taken, O Supreme Arunachala. He says, Arunachala, you as the form of Aruna hill have taken the supreme place, and that is the only way I can get out of this madness that I am being placed into now, that I am in currently. So the song, totally he says, having destroyed in me the intelligence to know the way of making a living in this world, you have made me worthless. If you keep me thus, in this condition, it will not be happiness for me anymore, for me, for you, or for the world. Happiness is not there for anyone if I keep living like this. But only misery will remain. I'll be completely under unhappiness, engulfed by unhappiness. Death is indeed better than this kind of life. What is the use? I'm suffering. Is that every morning I wake up and is the only purpose of me waking up from deep sleep, blissful sleep every morning is it only to suffer? Is it only to undergo such torture? Till my entire day, I'll be thinking of this, that, this, that. I don't know. There's so much of pressure I have assumed on me, or you put on me. Whatever it is, the pressure still remains. Is this life? That is indeed better, please. He is beseeching to Arunachala. Then he says, that is better than this life. O Supreme, who have taken the form of Aruna Hill, which shines on earth as the medicine for the madness. What is that madness? Of desire of the world. So, what Bhagavan says you have to do to me, he is not saying, give me everything, I will live, or give me the skill for surviving or becoming a successful money earner or anything like that. No. He says, instead, he says, only when I have the desire to live like that, I will be suffering. But now, completely extinguish the desire from me. This is all he asks. He does not want any material. He wants the little bit of desire in him to be totally extinguished. This is all he's asking. So, the madness of desire for the world. So, he wants Arunachala, who he says, Arunachala, Aruna Hill, which shines on earth as the medicine for the madness of the desire of the world, graciously bestow upon me, who, in spite of being possessed by the madness of love for you, am deprived of the fruit that is in jnana, the rare medicine of your grace, which will unite me with your feet. That is what will make me one with you. That is that is what will enable me to achieve the supreme state called the self. So, Bhagavan is given a very powerful explanation of what is the current status of Jivatmas like us, and what should we be beseeching Arunachala. There's no use in beseeching Arunachala for anything material. Arunachala is not that you can do some other thing you can do probably, but coming to Arunachala and asking him for material is not the most appropriate thing to do. That is not the nature of Arunachala. And the nature of Arunachala is consciousness. How can consciousness give you money or anything like that, any material, any worldly pleasure? No. He says, instead, take me to consciousness is the medicine that Bhagavan beseeches in this song. So, he starts off by saying, Vaittanai Vala Vayagatuyum Variyari Madiyalitingen. Vaittanai Vala Vayagatuyum Variyari Madiyalitingen. Vaitidil Arkum Inbilai Tunbe Vadvidil Savade Manbam. பைத்தியம் பற்றி பயனரும் எனக்குன் பதம் உறும் அருள்வாய் பைத்திய மருந்தாய் பாரொளீர் அருண பருபத உருபெரு பரணே. I'm sure everyone will relate to this song very nicely because every one of us have come to under the ambit of Arunachala, the grace of Arunachala in one way or the other. But still, everybody is struggling. We still have responsibility, assumed responsibility. We still have that. It is not yet left us. But we are also struggling to make ends meet, either ends meet or to make something big or whatever. No, struggle, it's all struggle. Every day we wake up, there are so many, readily, so many problems are awaiting to come and attack us, and we are in that position. And Bhagavan has, Arunachala has already destroyed our skill because our what happens to it happened to me like I wanted to participate in a big project for the company I was working. I used to go and sit and I used to go and start off the work, and immediately some PDF file, some book will come to me and Bhagavan's teaching, whatever it is, Vedanta, and I'll go immersed into it. I'm not able to go do anything to that project. At one point in time, I had no choice. I went to the managing director of the company. I requested him, please leave me. My mind is behaving like this. I'm not doing either justice to the project I'm working on or to my Vedantic studies. At least I'll take one thing full. I can only at this point in time take Vedanta as my full time and leave out project. Then he requested me, no, it's okay, it's all right, keep doing both for some time. You come here in the morning, just give some advice to your team members, and then you just start keep reading. He was a very pious man. He was a Vedantin in his way too, so he was able to appreciate. I said, I'm really struggling this way. See, even that small skill that I was possessing, I was not now. Whether the skill is gone, in the sense the inclination to produce results is gone. This has taken the foot. So Arunachala has made us all in that state. I know I can do this, but my mind is not cooperating with me to do. So Bhagavan is placed like this at this time. My skill is gone. My skill in form of implementation is gone, totally gone. Now I'm like a fool. Death is better than living such a life, because I don't know what to do. It's all like total confusion. Each one of us will undergo. If we reflect our own statuses, we'll be able to appreciate. Now, what he says, the only medicine for this is the Aruna hill. The, for my madness, I'm already become almost a madman. The only thing that can happen to me is this madness can be eliminated only by Arunachala placing, granting me the Aruna hill, granting me the grace, so that because of madness of love for Arunachala, I will be, whatever was deprived to me so far, that is the fruit called jnana, will accrue to me. Put your feet on me, Arunachala, and save me. This is the eighth song of Arunachala Padhigam. The ninth song, we'll see the ninth song. Paramanin Padam, Patrara Patrum, Para Ari, Ariyaril Paraman. Here is another twist. He says, Arunachala, oh supreme, Paramatma, Parama means supreme. Oh supreme, Nin Padam Patrara Patrum, that is holding on to your feet without any attachment. Patru Ara Patrum, that is holding, to cling to your feet without any attachment. Para Ari, Arivaril Paraman, the supreme wisdom, Para Arivu, the supreme wisdom. Those who possess that wisdom, I am the most supreme one who does not possess. He is taking a negative way of explaining it. That is, the one who knows to cling to the feet of Arunachala without any attachment. He is the most supreme. And I am the supreme one who does not know this. I am the number one in at the other side of the stick. I'm the number one fool. He says he's still taking, somehow claiming the number one rank. Number one, you can be number one intelligent, or you can be the number one fool. So here he says, I am totally qualified to be the highest form of person who lacks this clinging to the feet of Arunachala without any attachment. So then, I am in this state. So, Param Unakku Yanayan Paniyara Paniyai Parithidil Unakedu Baram. So, Baram is burden. So, if you remove all my problem, I know, now my ability that I am the last in the queue of the one who can cling to your feet. I agree. Yes, I'm there. So all my actions, you are capable of removing them on your own account. So if you do that, if you remove all that problems that I have in one stroke, is that a big thing for you? Can you not do that? So what are you going to lose by bestowing this one request to me? Okay, I'm a fool. Make me intelligent. You can do it in a thrice. Like that, you can do it. So I'm requesting you to make me like that. What is a big problem for you? I don't see any problem for you, because you're omnipotent. You are capable of doing anything in a matter of second. So make me like that. I agree that I'm the fool. I'm the biggest fool. So you shower your grace and turn me around. Give me a total turnaround. Is what he says. Paritidil unakedu baram. Parama nin பிரிந்து இவ்வுலகினை தலையில் பற்றியான் பெற்றது போரும். Oh Parama, oh the Supreme One, having been separated from you, I have been holding all the burden of this entire world on my head. And this burden is too much for me. Enough, enough. He is begging to Arunachala. Arunachala, enough. By means of separation from you, I've been suffering so badly. I have been, the burden is, I don't know how to explain the burden that I'm undergoing. Enough, Arunachala, enough. Please stop it. Stop this. Stop me from assuming all the worldly responsibility on my shoulder, on my head, by means of separation from you. So, what is that means? Give me that attachment, not the separation. Let's get into Ananya Bhava. Please merge with me in Ananya Bhava and ensure that I don't conjure any more attachment which is non-existent, and share the burden and take the load on my head or my shoulder, whatever. This is what he says. பரமனை இவ்வுலகில் தலையினையில் பற்றி யான் பெற்றது போதும். இனஃப் இனஃப் இனஃப். பரமனாம் அருணா சல எனை பரமனா அருணாச்சலா எனை இனி உன் பதத்தினில் ஒதுக்குறல் பாரில். Arunachala, from now on, please, for any reason, don't ever consider removing me from your feet. Odukkural, keeping me away from your feet. No, never ever consider, even consider. Doing is another thing. Never even consider. Paramanam Arunachala, don't even consider to keep me away from your feet going forward. Please, this is a prayer. So this song, 4 lines or 4 different states are given, and all of them are giving the beauty with which Bhagavan prays to Arunachala. Meaning, so the complete meaning of the song is, "O Supreme, I am the Supreme. I am the Supreme. That is the foremost among those who do not possess the supreme wisdom to cling to your feet without having any other attachment. So I am the number one in that. And make my actions cease, taking them as your burden. For what will be your burden? What burden can you have who sustains the whole universe?" So you are sustaining the whole universe by removing my problem. You are not going to add any new problem for you. It is nothing, because you are relieved of the burden. So by relieving my burden, I'm only going to improve. I'm only going to get benefit. You are not going to suffer in any way. So, O Supreme, what I have gained by holding this world on my head, that is by bearing the burden of the samsara, having let go of you now, enough for me. So I have missed you. Why did I assume the entire burden of samsara on me? Because I somehow separated from you. Because of that separation, I think it is my responsibility to take care of the needs, whatever, and I am bearing the burden on my head. Burden of the samsara, so-called samsara, on my head. Enough, enough. Arunachala, no, I cannot take it anymore. Then he says, "O Arunachala, who are the supreme, do not think hereafter of keeping me away from your feet." Feet here it means the state of Arunachala, the state of Arunachalam, which is consciousness. So from now, never even consider keeping me away from your feet, Arunachala. Arunachala. The song reads, I'll just read the song. பரமனின் பாதம் பற்றற பற்றும் பரவரி அரியரில் பரமன் பரம் உனக்கென என் பணியறப் பணியாய் பறித்திடில் உனக்கெது பாரம் பரமனிற் பிரிந்து உலகினை தலையில் பற்றியான் பெற்றது போதும் பரமனாம் அருணாச்சலயனை இனி உன் பதத்தினில் ஒதுக்குறல் பாரேல். Don't ever try to keep me away from your feet, Arunachala. Next song, 10th song. Here, the song, he brings out what Arunachala is. The magnetic power of Arunachala is being spoken in this song. Parthanan Pudumai, Uir Vali Kanda, Parvadam, Urudaram, Idhanai. Parthanan, I have seen. Parthan, I say, I have seen. Pudumai, a wonder, something totally new to me, a wonder. Uir Vali Kanda, The soul, Veer means soul. The soul forcibly attract. Vali means to attract. Like a magnet attracting the iron filings. Something, I've seen something new, something wondrous that is attracting my soul towards itself. And that is the hill. And whoever has seen this hill, ஒரு தரம், even once, இதனை ஓர்த்திடும் உயிரின் சேட்டையை ஒடுக்கி ஒரு தனது அபிமுகமாக, that is, whoever has seen it, even or even thought of it, ஓர்த்திடும், even whoever has thought of this Arunachala, the soul, the soul, the mischievous activity of the soul, சேட்டையை ஒடுக்கி, it removes the mischievous activity of the soul. And what does it do? ஒரு தனது அபிமுகமாக, it make them face towards itself. ஈர்த்து அதை தன்போல் அச்சலமா செய்தல். It pulls the soul towards itself and makes the soul achalam, without any movement, like itself. Like how Arunachala hill is the most known example for being achalam. Likewise, what this hill does to the soul, it attracts like a magnet. It attracts the soul towards itself and makes that soul achalam like itself. Achalama seidam இன்னுயிர் பலி கொள்ளும் இகுதன், making the soul achalam. What does it do? It feeds upon the soul. It consumes the entire being, the soul. It consumes the soul. It feeds upon the soul. உயிர் கொலி பலி கொள்ளும். பலி கொள்ளும் means feeds upon. இகுதன், what is this? ஓர்த்துய்மின் உயிர்காள் உளமதில் ஒளிரிவு உயிர்கொலி அருணமாகிரியே. Orthu means by thinking of Arunachala in such a way, we mean be saved. We God, O souls, be saved by thinking of Arunachala in your heart, Ulamadil, in the heart, who shines. The soul, as the destroyer of this Veer Koli. Veer Koli means to kill. The Veer. Veer means the soul here. In general, it is called Veer means the life. So here it's taken as soul. So it kills the soul. It is the destroyer of the soul. Veer Koli Arunamagiriye. The great Arunagiri hill kills. So this Arunagiri hills, what it is? It is a magnet that attracts the soul towards itself and makes it achalam without it, and make the soul drop all its movement and become achalam like itself. And what it does, it feeds upon. What a wonder this is. So the advice is for all souls to think of this Arunachala. Just thinking of Arunachala is enough. Smaradat Kaivalyam, Smaradat Kaivalyam, Smaradat Kaivalyam. You always know that. Think of Arunachala, be saved. This Arunachala, once you start thinking about this Aruna hill, the great destroyer of the ego called Arunachala will consume, will eat you, totally feed upon you. This song. So here the majesty of Arunachala is being explained. I have seen a wonder. This magnetic hill which forcibly attracts the soul, having suppressed the mischievous mental activities of the soul, who has thought of it once, even once, that is even once thinking of Arunachala, having drawn the soul to face towards itself, the one, and having made it motionless, achala, like itself. It feeds upon the sweet, pure, ripened soul. That is the food for Arunachala. What is the food? The soul. The ripened soul is the food for Arunachala. It consumes, it eats, so to speak. It consumes the ripened soul. What a wonder this is. Oh, souls, be saved by thinking of this great Arunagiri, the destroyer of soul, that is the ego, who shines in the heart. Arunagiri shines in the heart, and the only role for Arunagiri is to destroy the ego by consuming it. In this verse, Bhagavan reveals how Arunachala roots out the ego of those who think of it even once. Having once been thought of, Arunachala works in the mind in such a way as to make the mind's mischievous activity subside. It's called seshta, this a common word called seshta. Seshta of mischievous activity, of monkey-like activity of the mind is it makes subside. Then it draws the mind inward to face the self, the one reality, and thereby makes the mind motionless like itself. Knowing from his own personal experience the wonderful power that Arunachala has to make the mind's activity subside, to draw its attention towards the self and thereby destroy it, Bhagavan confidently declares in the last line of this verse, O souls, be saved by thinking of the great Arunagiri, the destroyer of the soul who shines in the heart. So all we have to do, all that we have to do, the simplest thing that anyone can do is to think of Arunachala without including any other thought, just be on the single smarana of Arunachala. And that one thing is enough for us to achieve the state of Arunachala. Song is பார்த்தனன் புதுமை உயிர்வலி காந்த பருவதம் ஒரு தரம் இதனை போர்த்திடும் உயிரின் சேட்டையை ஒடுக்கி ஒருத்தனது அபிமுகமாக ஈர்த்ததை தன் போல் அச்சலமா செய்த விண்ணுயிர் பலி கொள்ளும் இகுதன் ஓர் தூய்மின் உயிர்கள் உளமதில் ஒளிரும் உயிர்கொலி அருணமாகிரியே அருணமாகிரி. So the next song starts, the 11th song starts with a word called Giri. Giri means the hill, the mountain. Mountain is Giri. So the next song, the 11th song, he says, Giri idu parama karudiya என்போல் கெட்டவர் எத்தனை கொல்லோன். The hill, Giri idu, this hill, who have taken this hill as the supreme by thinking, karudiye, just by thinking about it. Like me, Kettavar Ethanai Kollo. Kettavar means those who have been destroyed by the hill. Ethanai Kollo. How many? How many can I say? No, nobody can say how many. How many people like me who have come to Arunachala, who have just by thinking Arunachala, 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 and got destroyed like this. And the soul got destroyed because in the previous song, it is said that the Arunachala, Arunagiri, feeds on such a ripened soul. Kettavar ethanai kollo. How many people have been destroyed like this? Viri tuyaralit pizhaipinil vizhaivu. So viri means increasing. Tuyar misery, all due to pizhaipinil vizhaivu. Oh, on this life, what a pizhaipu I am having, we'll say in Tamil. This pizhaipu in this life, in this living, desire. Vitt, leave out the desire. Udal vidil viragu. Viragu means a means to drop the attachment to the life. Udal vidil, the body, to give up the attachment to worldly things. Karidiye tirivir. Keep thinking, oh people who are wandering about. Tiridal means to wander about. Thinking of Arunagiri, people who are wandering, கருத்தினுள் in the mind, urukal karudida kolamale kollum. Even if you once think of Arunachala for once, it will kill you without killing you. It is a poetical way of saying it. It will not kill the physical body. That is not the aim of Arunachala. Arunagiri is not here to kill this physical body. We started this session today with a small discussion about this jada nature of this body, poor body. The idea is not to kill the body or to make the body suffer. The idea is to kill the mind, which is the most biggest culprit, which causes all difficulty for the body. Because it demands everything out of the body. It wants this body to be the most beautiful, shine with glow. It wants the body to have a six-pack abdomen or whatever. All the body will undergo silently because the mind is dictating. So what Arunagiri does is to kill the mind. So It does not. Kolamale kollu, which means it will spare the body, it won't kill the body. It will kill the mind. It will consume the soul. It will eat the soul. Arumarundu undru undu. So such one wondrous medicine is available. It is there. Undu is there. Avaniyil in this earth. Adudan. That is indeed Arunamatiram. Arunahil. Endru arivi. No others. No, Arunachala is there to kill your soul, to consume your soul without killing the body, without harming the body or anything like that. But it kills the soul, which means everything is done. Arunamagiri is the only thing that can do, that has the power to do this. Oh, how many are those who, like me, have been destroyed, Bhagavan says, by thinking this hill to be supreme? Oh, people who are wandering about, thinking of a means to give up the body. People are suffering from the body, mind dictates again. They want to give up the body, but they don't know how to do it. Body, having given up the desire for this worldly life due to its increasing misery. Yes, this worldly life is full of misery, all of us know. And so each one in his own way, in his own kind of inclination, tries to say, I want to give up my body. I want to give. In frustration, everyone has said at some point, I don't want this body. I want to give up this body. And for such people, there is one on this earth, one rare medicine, which, when merely thought of once in the mind, will kill the ego without killing the body. No, this indeed is Arunahil. So Arunachala is so powerful that it will spare the body and kill the ego. As after all, the body is always taken care of by prarabdha. Udalai prarabdham poshikkum. Body will be consumed by prarabdha. So let prarabdha do the job, let body do the job. The entire problem is this ego. And once the ego is gotten rid of, everything is so beautiful. Body will not be disturbed by this ego anymore. It won't be tortured by this ego. The body will undergo beautifully. It will journey for the rest of the prarabdha, till the prarabdha holds. It will beautifully journey without any complaint, without any expectation. It will live. And you will be merged. The ego is gone. So consciousness always keeps shining forth. This is the state of Bhagavan. This is how Bhagavan was when he was in bodily life. Bhagavan did have a body. We have seen Bhagavan's body. At least from our point of view, yes, Bhagavan had a body. But the body was doing its dharma. It was not never ever troubled by anything called the mind, like we all trouble our body. We want this food. We want all tasty things. We want most healthy things. We want the most hygienic things. We want the most luxurious things. We want the best of beds. Our bed should be rolled out so beautifully. I should be lying on the bed like a king. Everything. I am not able to withstand the heat of the summer, so I want the AC running behind me. Look, everything. But body is taking it's all because of my body. The mind will clearly say, not for me. I don't want anything. It's for the sake of the body. Look at the body. The body never asks. The body does not even know to ask because it is Jatam. It does not even know to ask anything. So people like Bhagavan, that is how they never cared for the body. Body was, but because they never troubled the body, body was living beautifully. So in order for us to go to that state, what we have to do? Well, we have to only think of Arunagiri. And Arunagiri has got that wondrous power to kill the soul exclusively, leave the body to do its job, not interfere with the body. This is the greatness of Arunagiri. And the song is the 11th song. கிரி இது பரமா கருதிய என் போல் கெட்டவர் எத்தனை கொல்லோ விரி துயரால் இப்பிழைப்பினில் விளைவு விட்டுடல் விட்டிட விறகு கருதியே திரிவீர் கருத்தினுள் ஒரு கால் கருதிடக் கொலாமலே கொல்லும் அருமருந்தொன்றுண்டவனியில் அதுதான் அருணபாத்திரம் என அறிவீர். அருமருந்து ஒன்று உண்டு. There is a beautiful, wondrous medicine in this world, which will kolamale kollum. Without killing, it will kill. Without killing the body, it will eliminate the soul. This is Arunamatiram. Aruna, this is the hill called Arunachala. With this, the Arunachala Padigam comes to a conclusion. The 11 songs we have seen, fully supposing with bhakti towards Arunachala, love for Arunachala, and seeking Arunachala's grace, invoking Arunachala's grace at every walk of life, every step, finally concluding, think of Arunachala. He will do the rest. You don't need to bother anything more. All you have to do is think of Arunachala without thinking anything else. Are we not all capable of doing this? Everyone, without exception, is capable of thinking of Arunachala. Just sit in one corner, walk in the busiest road, sit in one corner all alone, sit by the banks of the river, sit in the mountain, sit in the ocean, be in the ocean, sit in Bhagavan's ashramam, be in your own house. All you have to do is think of Arunachala. Who cannot do that? And Bhagavan vouchsafes that Arunachala will ensure that your mind is subsided, your mind is extinguished, and you will live a beautiful life of consciousness. Namo Ramdai. Arunachala, Arunachala.